Go. Hi, everybody. It's Trish Fritz, your concierge realtor with Howard Hanna. I hope everybody's doing well today. This is another edition of 5 Things About My Favorite People. And let me tell you today, definitely one of my favorite people. And she's going to be one of your favorite people too, because as we speak, we're still stuck inside and we're still in the middle of the pandemic. Hopefully this will air before it's over, but maybe hopefully it'll be over before it airs. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know about you, but right now I'm thinking about being anywhere, but in my house. And when this is over, we're all going to be going somewhere, and you're going to need somebody to help you get there. So I would like to introduce you to my friend, Jessica Baker, who is a travel agent with Liscape Travel by Jessica. It's her own little business within the umbrella of Liscape Travel. So she has complete control over everything, and she is happy to plan vacations of all sizes, all kinds, and any destination. You'll hear more about that in a little while. But whether you're going, on a big fancy vacation that you need full service, or you want airline tickets or hotels, and you just don't want to be bothered with doing all the work yourself, Jessica is definitely the person to talk to. Like I said, we're all going to go somewhere when this is over, and I can't wait to get together with her and figure out where we're going to be going. But in the meantime, welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this time to speak with someone outside of my own household.
Yeah, no kidding. Someone I don't live with. Absolutely perfect.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
So, and I also want to tell you, and it's going to come up in the questions in a few minutes, but Jessica is also a musician and a music teacher. She teaches in the Virginia Beach public schools, and but Liscape Travel is actually her passion, and she spends every spare minute doing it. So don't think just because she's not doing it full time, she's not going to be fully concentrating on your needs, because you will be taken care of like I can't even tell you. I've heard so many good reports so far, and like I said, I can't wait to be able to go somewhere so I can see for myself firsthand. So let's get into the questions. 5 things. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, since we were talking about the fact that you're a musician, how does your music side and the travel side, how do they work together?
Oh, that's a great question. So, part of being a musician is being flexible. It's being prepared. It's attention to detail. Again, it's, on the musician side, we're always striving for perfection, and we're practicing and practicing. But even when we have, yeah, and even though we may have the notes on the page down pat under our fingers, there's always something more that we can do with our music. Or each time that we perform something, it's not going to be the same 100% of the time. So we're always trying to find better ways to improve the experience and the quality of that particular performance. And so I use those skills, and they work masterfully on the travel agent side. When I travel, and people would always joke on me, even if it was just a simple road trip. Back in the day, I would literally write step by step where we're going, how we're getting there, what we're doing, what pit stops we're going to make, because I would just take the time to research all that. And though people, my husband would make fun of me about it, when I gave it to him and he was the one driving or whatnot, there were no questions asked,
Yep.
There was not even. So it just makes it a seamless transition. And so I take that same amount of detail work, and I put that into travel as well. And so even though I'm of the digital age, I still personally travel with all of hard copy papers. And so within that, I organize them from, prior to departure, starting departure, in between, your trip, and even following through towards the end. So leading up towards a trip, I've got a paper folder that I also put into a digital folder as well, because even though we may use our phones to scan in to go through security or to board the plane, I've seen it happen where the scanner's down or some sort of system's going on. Well, I can, within 2 seconds, pull out my paper boarding pass, and boom, I'm on the plane. and I'm not having to wait around and
Yep.
scrounge around and so forth. So I take all of those details into consideration when I'm planning and when I'm executing travel vacations and so forth.
All right, cool. So why
So
travel?
very detailed oriented.
Yep.
Again, I try for my clients, I try to prepare and plan the way I would want to travel, which again would be seamless, no questions
Mhm.
asked. It should be as stress-free as possible. Because even though we may be going to a relaxing destination, part of the journey to get there may be stressful. And so we want to, again, from start to finish, have it as peaceful and no questions asked as possible.
Right. Okay. So why travel? Why not something else? Why travel?
So for us, I want to say I've always been a traveler. I was very fortunate and blessed to have the opportunity in high school to travel twice to Europe. Again, the musician side of me, I was able to perform in Europe in high school. I was also a member of the Governor's School for the Arts. I know you had talked about
Yep.
being a teacher there.
Yes,
So
fabulous place.
it's amazing. And it's, you know, for a high school student who may be struggling to find who they are, maybe a high school homeschool setting isn't necessarily for them. So for me to be able to, anyways, that's kind of getting off topic here, but I found my tribe of musicians and high schoolers just trying to find themselves within a music realm. So we were able to travel to Europe and perform in Europe. And I was always fascinated with aviation, like planes and flight attendants and pilots and just the whole system of how it comes together. And so, you know, as we continue to travel, growing up, my husband and I went on our honeymoon to Sandals River in Jamaica. And I absolutely fell in love with the travel part of it, the destination. I've never been to a Caribbean island before, but then we were just so enamored with the culture, the vibe, the warmth and welcomeness of all of the staff members from the moment we stepped off the plane to the moment we got back to the States. Kind of ended there, but
Yeah.
But it was just so warm and rich and welcoming, and it within a day we felt like family at this particular resort. And so I didn't want it to be a number of years before we got to do something like that again. You know, as you mentioned, my husband and I are both teachers. We're both music educators. So when we do take vacations like that, we have to plan in advance. You know, I call them my layaway vacays. Because in travel, it's so important to plan. I've heard so many stories of people who would set aside money for travel, for their dream vacation, just for a home repair or a home improvement project that needed to be finished, or a car repair, or something that happens where it dips into that vacation fund.
Yeah.
So, you know, we just kind of made it a point, and yes, we're educators, but as music educators, you know, our jobs extend even into the summers and on the weekends for performances and competitions and so forth. So we just made it our pact. That was our thing, is we need to travel. We want to travel. And so we're going to do whatever it takes to plan for those. And so as we started to continue to travel more, I was just like kind of doing the work anyways as a travel agent. So I just took all those skills and all those experiences that we'd had those, you know, first few years of our marriage, and I kind of tiptoed into the industry.
All right.
And so, like I said, it's very much evolving and changing, which is exciting. I like to stay on my toes, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's great. So we're all looking forward to traveling, but right now, of course, we're all stuck. So what are you doing during quarantine to stay busy?
That's a very great question. Aside from keeping our sanity.
I left mine somewhere. I think it's under the bed.
Well, I've taken on a number of projects. On the travel side, this is a wonderful opportunity. I've been able to continue our trainings and staying on top of the things, again, the ever-evolving policies, and even just some of the things that some of the resorts or cruise lines plan to do in the future. Attending webinars and making sure that I stay on top of my game, so to speak.
Cool.
But personally, I just completed a 200-hour yoga teacher training program.
Nice. Very good.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that'll help rein in some of my zen when we need it most. Right?
When you gonna help you capture that sanity.
Yeah. Nice little timeouts.
Yep.
Well, and also it's physical practice too, which
Yep.
certainly helps. And all you
Sure.
need is just the length and the width of your body.
Yeah.
You don't need too much space for it.
Yeah.
So, and also even though my last name is Baker, I am far from actually being a baker. So my sister is actually a pastry chef, but throughout the last few months, and especially now that we've been quarantined, I've been trying my hand at some baking projects. I did a pretty cool bunny cake from
Nice.
when we were growing up. Yeah, that was my goal, was to make sure that this year particularly, I just wanted to make sure that I carried that tradition on.
Okay.
So trying my hand at little pastry-like things.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right. So back to travel. We all want a cheap deal. What can you do for us about that? Anything?
That is the question that I get so often,
Everybody.
especially when people have never used a travel agent before. And I feel like, back in the day, like in the 80s and early 90s, prior to internet, travel agencies and the industry were booming. Like that was what you did, is you went to a travel agent and that's what you booked your travel through.
Right.
And so there's become a misconception that travel agents will always get you the cheapest of cheapest deals.
Mm-hmm.
And so, unfortunately, that's just not really the case. A lot of times, even though we do have the internet available for us, if you click that online button to book your cruise or to book your Sandals vacation, all of what travel agents get paid is only through commission. So you're still paying that travel agent's commission, whether you book it yourself or whether the travel agent does it for you. And so what we aren't are, deal breakers or bottom liners or anything like that. So, we're not gimmick recruiters. We certainly don't travel for free. And so if we don't travel for free as travel advisors and travel agents, it's unrealistic to think that Joe Schmo down the street is going to travel for free as well.
Right.
And so it's just kind of like a misconception that I like to try and put out up front, is that, of course, I'm going to find you the best rate that I absolutely can. That's not my goal. That's not anybody else in the travel industry's goal. We will always try to find you the best rate possible. Sure. But what comes with that is the value of your vacation. And so, you want to book your cruise online, that's great. Again, you're still paying that commission, but you're not getting that personal attention and personal service. You're not getting, Jessica's detailed itinerary and, tagged pages, right. Or any additional printouts of information. You ultimately become a number. Yeah. And so, especially now during this pandemic, I've heard stories of people having to cancel and having to modify and change their bookings, but they're on hold for 4 or 5 hours, or they get frustrated and they give up, and then their reservation and their booking becomes lost among the crowds.
Yep.
However, because you used a travel agent, I'm the one that's on hold for you, and I'm the one that's
Yep.
going to bat for you and your vacation and your reservation. And again, the value of what you've put into maybe your once in a lifetime vacation, or once every few years, or
Yep.
5 years, or 10 years. And so there's no additional cost for that. And
Right.
so I do my very best to advocate for, why not? Why not use someone else's expertise and service? And again,
Sure.
I'm sure very much on the realtor side, anybody could go buy a house,
Yep.
but you certainly don't want to do it alone.
No, you don't. And actually on the buy side, it's like the commission is paid already,
Hmm.
so it doesn't cost the buyer anything extra to use a realtor, so why not? And
Exactly.
the thing is I've been on bad vacations, and I've been on vacations where I don't have anybody to call to help me fix it.
Right.
And the thing is you're right. Why wouldn't you?
Hmm.
I will never, now that I know you, I will never go on a vacation without you ever again. Because I know that if I have a problem, I can call you and you'll fix it.
Hmm.
You'll help me fix it. And I don't care what that costs. The cheapest isn't the best. You get what you pay for. And so, if you're looking to do a cut rate vacation in, flea bag hotels, maybe a travel agent isn't for you, but I don't know anybody that really goes and does that on purpose.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is like, the musician side, of course, we talk about quality and, experience and so forth. Same with travel. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
You pay tickets to attend the symphony. You don't want them to be playing like sixth grade band, happy birthday,
No.
Merry Christmas. You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
don't. Yeah.
No. So those, it's all about value and how you relate and so forth. And I choose specific brands because of its specific value. Like, we all go to Starbucks because, or maybe not all of us, but we choose Starbucks because we know that brand has quality, and the value is there.
Mhm.
So this is kind of a little analogy for that.
Sure. All right, we are really short on time, but very quickly, one final question, which has nothing to do with travel. Tell me about your dogs.
Oh,
30
my dog.
seconds. Go.
I've got two beagles. Brody is the oldest. Brady is the youngest. They are Brody and Brady, the Beagle Bakers.
Say that 3 times fast.
Brody, Brady, the Beagle Bakers. Brody, Bagel, the Beagle. I just called them bagels.
There you go. Well, all right. That has been, you've been very informative, and I really appreciate everything that you do. Like I said, I cannot wait to go on a vacation or drive down the street or anything. But in the meantime, if you all have any questions, obviously I am your concierge realtor, so I'm going to be the source of all information that you need. You don't have to memorize everybody's numbers, just memorize mine, 757-358-1483. And I will connect you with this fabulous lady so you can get your vacation planned in advance, so that when this thing is over with, you can just hop in the plane or the car or whatever and leave.
Now
So,
is the perfect time to plan.
yep. So thank you very much, Jessica, and
Thank you.
have a fabulous day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.